Alrighty. What is up, nerds? Let's make sure we got everything rolling. Uh-huh. Yeah, charge my phone. Woo. Are we gonna get a little notification that I'm live on LinkedIn? Yes, we are. What is up, nerds? How's it going? I'm excited. This and everything is perfect. Perfect. Awesomeness. So, today's a bit of a lazy day. We're not doing anything especially exciting. We're just going to be talking a lot, which is what I enjoy doing anyway because I have a big fat mouth. But it's still going to be fun. It's still going to be lots and lots of fun. And I actually have some ideas for future streams that I want to discuss with everybody. So, Hank is already on, giving me the love. Well, he's giving me the like. He's giving me the like and the clap. Oh, no, they're both giving me the clap. You're 3 minutes late and muted? What? What? Hold on. No way. My mic says everything's going good. Are you sure you're not muted? 3 minutes late? What do you mean? It's 6:31, mister. If I'm actually muted, let me know. I don't think anything is weird, but if it is, hit me up. Also, here, I'm going to drop this in the... I'm going to start doing this. So let's go to Twitch. Boop. All. Copy. Boom. I'm going to post this in the comments. If you want to join, you can, because that is where there's a little bit less lag. Okay, cool. George hears me. It might be on your end, Jess. Thank you. Thank you, Hank. Thank you, Hank. Hank supports me. Oh, Jess. But if anybody wants to join the stream that not on LinkedIn, where you have a little bit more engageability and your comments show up a little bit like right in this little black area right underneath my video, and the lag is a lot less bad, and it's apparently a little bit easier to hear me and things like that, you can go join the Twitch channel really quickly. Or both. I don't mind. Where is your sound, Jess? What up? What up, dog? Is the video itself muted? Because, like, look, down here I have the little unmute thing. I have to mute myself. So check that. Anyway, let's get started. Nerds. I'm gonna start calling the everybody that supports the stream nerds. I think that's applicable, right? I support you. It's been a long day for me too, Jess. Anyway, let's get started. We're just gonna be reading today. I'll read some stuff out loud, whatever, mostly just a lot of conversation, right? And this is about like sources of really like solid, valuable information on realistic startups, right? Because, and just to, actually I should put a little thing down here, rants, because I have a lot to rant about. So, future project, hell yeah, nerds rule, Hannah. Future projects, SF sucks. And incubator. I have some ideas for an incubator that I've been like milling around in my head and I've been telling everybody about. And I would love to talk about it and rant about it. So today's going to be a lot of talking, as it usually is, but more just conversationally focused stuff. Yeah, it'll be good. So anyway, so feel free to hop in. I would love some advice on this, like some help, because I have like 4 little places for really nice information, and I think they're the main spots. I think Indie Hackers is definitely the main spot. But we're trying to read about startups, right? We're trying to read about companies, but on a more realistic sense, right? Not the big fancy like Apples of the world. Like, how did Apple start? Oh my gosh! Oh, have you all seen? I guarantee you've all seen the motherfucking picture of like Jeff Bezos sitting in his little desk with like a big like spray painted Amazon.com up in the background, right? Like that whole bullshit. Like, he started from just a tiny little thing working in his office on the side, blah 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 blah. That, like, no, your aspirations should not be aiming towards that. That was during the dot-com bubble. That was during a whole lot. The entire environment there was completely different. There, I guarantee you, he lucked out on a bunch of different things. That's not like what you should aspire to do. What you should aspire to do needs to be significantly more realistic, right? The market is more saturated. Niches have been covered. You're not going to make the next Amazon. I'm sorry. Like, I'm not going to make the next Amazon. Maybe you will, but that's really not what you should be aiming for, because like if you aim too high, you're not going to hit the mark. Like, it's it's usually a hit or miss, right? And you may as well try for something a little bit smaller with a higher hit rate, right? So that's why I like smaller concepts of startups, right? What's up, Brian? Brian's always such a supporter. Ugh. I miss you, dude. I hope you're doing well, Brian. But yeah, so startups are completely overhyped. Silicon Valley sucks ass. Don't like it, it's so vastly different from realism, right? The stories that you hear from Silicon Valley, the stories that you hear from SF, the like the stories that you read on TechCrunch or on freaking like Wired or BuzzFeed or all these big fancy things, right? That focus on the billionaires of the world. Like, oh fuck, okay, like that's not. I'm sorry, like there's a whole lot going on there that they don't talk about, and it's not. Though, and those people didn't start from like zero, right? Like some of them did, sure, but that was during a very specific time with a very specific skill set and a lot of luck, right? And that's not what you should be aiming for. What you should be aiming for is something much more realistic, something you can sustain yourself on, so you can spend much more time dicking around, enjoying yourself, like actually out in the world and not burying yourself in some crazy startup. But this is my opinion. That's what entrepreneurship is really about. I really like this kind of thing. I think entrepreneurship is way overhyped, and there are much more realistic and accessible sectors of it that should be talked about more. And so I'm pulling up a bunch of resources to talk about it, right? Because there are a few little niche parts, little corners of the internet that I've found through some of my friends, through a lot of you, that help people understand the realism around entrepreneurship, right? More realistic stuff, right? What's up, dude? Yeah, no, LinkedIn Live is cool. Actually, here, if anybody wants to, you can apply for LinkedIn Live. So if you looked up LinkedIn Live, if you look up LinkedIn Live, there's should be, yeah, getting started with LinkedIn Live right here. You can apply for live video broadcasting. So you have to apply. It's not everybody, but you have to apply. And if they let you in, they'll shoot you an email, and you will be on the beta. But it's a closed beta right now, I think, and I had to apply to get in. There's a bunch of other closed betas I want to get on, but right now we have to deal with this. But yeah, I would try it out. I would say go apply if you're interested in doing live videos. Country manager at Romania? Do you manage all of Romania? But yeah, no, I would check it out. I think LinkedIn Live is really, really cool. I also do Twitch and Twitter. I think those are also really good sources. I pushed a lot of people to Twitch before I did the LinkedIn Live, so check that out. Anyway, getting distracted. Entrepreneurship sucks in typical media. Like, I guarantee you, watch this. Let's look up startup stories. Thought it was through Restream by default. Still cool. So yeah, Restream is what I use it through, right? That's what I push the stream through. You have to use like some sort of a service like that to push the stream through. But yeah, you have to apply for it for sure. You're a startup, many hats. Absolutely, you know the drill, 100%. I love it. Love to see it. So startup stories. I'm not gonna call this series startup stories. I'm probably not gonna make a series out of this because there's not too much to talk about. There's a basic kind of ideology that Entrepreneur works off of, and it is like I'm calling this startup stories just because it's catchy. But there's no way I'm gonna be able to like look at all this like startup stories. It's the startupstory.co. There's a ton of this kind of stuff, right? That will inspire you. God, I hate this shit. 10 Indian startup stories that will inspire you. Dream it, do it, find inspiration for blah, 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 blah. Top 50 inspiring and most read startup stories. God, I hate it. It's fucking BuzzFeed articles, dude. Like, it's ridiculous. I hate this stuff. Startup story. Okay, cool, awesome. Is this a podcast? This is a podcast, cool. Startup story on social media. Founder of Grunt Style. Brand for Patriots, a brand that has reached incredible heights on unbelievable speeds. This would be a good TikTok. Startup story time with Max. Hey, that's actually really funny. You know what? Ooh, saucy startups. Saucy. Maybe simple startups. It's probably something like simple startups because that's what I'm promoting, right? It's not just every startup. It's like simplifying the concept of the startup down to like boiling it down, right? And like this is how they started. This is how where they came up with the idea. This is why that idea was valuable to begin with. This is the investigation that they did. This was the process, right? This was the actual realistic fucking process to get where they got today. Because a lot of people don't really show any of that, right? Startup horrors. Ooh, I guarantee you there's something like that. But I'll check it out. Yeah, I like these ideas though. Also, Hank, that's actually not a bad idea. I was thinking of fucking around with TikTok at some point because it is like a new social media. Hey, ooh. And startup story time would be kind of cool on TikTok. Because that's like a short little bit that I can do that's not like, because you can't really do it. You can't convey fucking information over TikTok. It's garbage. I hate the platform. I refuse to like watch any video that I see that is TikTok branded almost. But like, whatever. That might be interesting. We should do that. We should do that on one stream where I try to start a TikTok channel. That'd be kind of funny. That'd be kind of funny. And I can stream my my phone, right? I can show getting started on starting a startup. Oh, it's a lot of start. It's a lot of start all at once, but I like it. I like it a lot. I think a TikTok channel would be actually really kind of funny for startup stories. That'd be really cute. You know what? I'm gonna write that down. I'm gonna write that down on the board because I like that. I think we should do that for one stream because I've wanted to try out TikTok just for fucking fun because it's just terrible. Oh my god, it's the worst pieces of the internet combined into one. It's making so much gosh dang money, I'll bet. Oh, okay. Startup stories on TikTok. Stories on TikTok. I put like 3 H's because I hate TikTok. Anyway, moving on. Oh no. My pens fell out. Oh no. Oh. Okay, we're good. TikTok is shit, yeah. Thank you, Sam. I'm glad Sam is here. Yeah. Sam agrees with me. We should just make a series on TikTok about shitting on TikTok is what we should do. That would be great. Anyway, what did Kyle say? At least we can all agree that the content doesn't matter. It's all in the name. Shut up, Kyle. The content is the most important part. You know that. You're messing with me. That salts me though. The phrase that you just expressed salts me. So what is this? Founder of Wooly. Allows brands to see who their fans are, what their social reach is, and then reach out to them directly as potential brand ambassadors. Startup created to bring authenticity to the influencer market space, created by the guy who helped build the influencer market space to the heights that it has become today. Interesting. Wooly. Now to the cold soup, a mobile app that serves. Interesting. So it looks like... It looks like these are more stories, right? 1 hour, 48 seconds. So they're about an hour. I have no idea. I haven't listened to the content, but this looks like pretty decent. I just wish there was more information, right? Oh, great. Here we go. How did Uber grow to 50 million? How did Spanx become massively successful without one dime of venture capital? The stories are out there, but the startup story is always even deeper. What exactly do they do? Here we go. This is nice, actually. What exactly do they do to go from idea to launch? What was the first step and how did they decide to take it? Actually, fuck yeah. Fuck yeah, James. Oh my gosh. This looks great. I like stuff like this. I like this a lot. I'm hoping that it's more informational. In my 8 years with LinkedIn Learning last year I retired, I wanted to do LinkedIn Learning for Tinder. Or I might as well do fucking TikTok as I'm done with Linda. That's funny, Sam. Oh my gosh. Are we memeing? Is this, we're all just memeing. What is it? What? Oh, I'm sorry. Sad Ralph. Oh, I didn't mean to hurt your feelings. But it's all in the content. You know it's all in the content. You're just messing. He's still messing with me. Ugh. Boy. Kyle's memeing on me, dude. Sorry if I offended you. But startup story. Maybe I can invite this guy on my thing. This is cool. So yeah, I like this. What exactly did they do to go from idea to launch? What was the first step and how did they decide to take it? Love it. Love it a lot. There's not a lot of content like this. I'm sure it's probably more story oriented than we try to make it on Entrepreneur, right? and I'm not gonna I'm shitting on everybody else. I'm no better. Like I'm still being very like we're literally just reading this one, right? Like I haven't done too much directly informational stuff on the podcast or the live show recently. But I want to get to it, and I want to talk about what I'm going to be doing for some of the next streams. There's not going to be a stream next week. It's Thanksgiving break, and I'm going to be back home with my parents. But there's going to be a stream after that, so we're going to try to really hit the ground running with some fun, like genuine little idea that I'm building. Right, I'm building it in front of you and showing you how easy it is to do. Right, because I want to get back to that because I've been a little bit distracted. I've been trying to focus on like 6 different little startup ideas and trying to build them. But anyway, so the startup story looks cool too. Nice little piece of content. I'm going to save this. Startupstory.com. Bop. Boop. Cool. So let's start reading. I looked up on Quora. Quora doesn't really seem to have too much. We don't want to go to venture capital. Venture capital sucks. We want to avoid venture capital entirely, right? Because venture capital is a very, very specific like sect of entrepreneurship, and it's not what we're talking. We're talking about bootstrapping, realistic stuff, right? Right all else to an LLL and a happy Thanksgiving. That would be great. I would love to do like a Thanksgiving stream, but I'll be home. It'll be tough. I don't think the internet that I'm going to be working with is nice enough, and I'll just be distracted. It'll be all messy, right? So, oh well. Startup founders and entrepreneurs. There's a bunch of other things. There's like startup strategy, blah blah blah. It doesn't look like I'm finding maybe bootstrapping. Let's try that. Bootstrapping, a software career. Bootstrapping companies. How about this? Why aren't VC/angels interested in my bootstrap profitable startup? VC is for a very specific sect of people that are doing startups, right? It's so I'm avoiding VC, right? Because VC, first of all, it makes things really, really complicated. Everybody that I know that has VC money has their lives run by the VCs. It's how all the big, giant, super rich billionaires came to be, right? Like getting investment and growing super quick. That's how Silicon Valley functions. But it's not. It's like 1% of startups, right? It's like 1% of freaking startups, and you only really hear about the VC startups because they pump a bunch of money into a company, and then they they run ads, or they're more public about what they're doing, right? So we hear about all the big VC stories, but it's literally like 1%, less than 1% of companies get VC funding, and that's like startups, right? Like that's not considering like smaller little companies. Like it's such a small segment of how many like actual companies are born, actual startups are born. And so because of that, we're not focusing on that. We're focusing on the majority of how actually a lot of this shit happens, right? Most of them are bootstrapped. Most of them are friends and family money. Most of them are through an accelerator, not via venture capital, right? So taking all that into account, see if we can find something. So bootstrapping is where we want to be, right? Or at least where I want to be. That's what I really like. Not shitting on venture capital. It's just not how all of it works. So a very small percentage of everything works, right? Certain managers that would rather bootstrap their company to raise capital. So what mindset behind that? I don't want to talk about mindsets. What are your thoughts on bootstrap? I don't want to. This is you go and raise fees as opposed to, oh my gosh, this is all the same stuff. This isn't stuff that we want to read. Sign you can't raise VC, blah, blah, blah. Just don't take money from the big firms. Angel, oh my god, dude. Okay, so angels are incredible. If you can find an angel, always better than VC. Like if you like absolutely need investment. If you don't need investment and you can grow maybe over the next year and like do it slower and bootstrap it, highly recommend that. Highly, highly recommend that. Nico, what's up, dude? Oh my gosh, I haven't talked to you in forever. What's up next? What do you mean? Tell stories you know personally from last year. Ooh, good point. So I run a startup group. We're talking about what's next on Entrepreneur at the end of the stream, Nico. But just to give you an idea, like there's a couple little startup ideas that I want to work on. I'm going to talk about some of the startups that I'm working on currently. What's up, dude? We'll talk about that at the end of the stream. But yeah, so I run a group in town in Pittsburgh called Moss Generation, right? It is a startup group. It is where Hank is in it. Hank is awesome. Hank was building a startup, and he's kicking booty. But he's he's a great example. He's a startup founder in town who's built something, who's been kicking booty, and I have a big group of those people in Pittsburgh. I think I have like 187, almost 200 startup founders and early employees from the local ecosystem. From what I've heard there, a lot of the companies, like, it's interesting. One of my favorites A lot of them have gone through accelerators. A lot of them are more like along the lines of like the VC companies, right? But most of them have gotten small like state grants. They've gotten small little feeds from accelerators or incubators, so little stipends from there, and they're growing from there. And straight up, a lot of them are just like building through revenue, right? Oh, that was a misspelling. Okay. Uh, absolutely. I'll talk to you later, Nico. Hit me up. Um, but it like one of the best examples is Jetpack Workflow. I always talk about David Christella from Jetpack Workflow. Great company. Love what he does. He's amazing. Just genius son of a bitch. He's one of my favorites. He's one of my mentors, and so of course I have a bias towards him, right? Um, but he built his company out of no investment, right? And it was interesting because there was a group. I was working with a group that wanted to invest in his kind of company, and I asked him. I was like, "Hey, I'm working with a venture capitalist out in Silicon Valley. And they really like what you're doing. Do you think you would be interested in investment?" And like they're like amazing. They're a really successful firm. And he literally got back to me and he was like, "Honestly, we're not raising money. Thanks though." Like it was just like, "Nah, I'm good." Right? Because he bootstrapped the entire thing. The first thing that he started out with, he didn't even have a product yet, and he went to he built a workflow system for accountants in big accounting firms. So what did Kyle say? I'm doing some digging on my own, but I think what you're essentially looking for is the anti-bio of startup founders. Yeah, exactly, Kyle. That's exactly what I'm looking for. That's a great way to describe it. But anyway, David, he built his company literally on just an idea. So he had the idea, and so he did like deep investigation, right? He did deep investigation into accountants and accounting firms and how they function, how their workflow functions, and what their biggest issues are. And he kept hearing like checklists. Everybody hated these checklists, and they didn't know how to deal with them, right? And so he kept doing investigation into the checklists. He tried a bunch of different workflow programs to try to help with those checklists. Nothing really worked, and he started to see why those different workflow tools wouldn't work. So he like came up with like a little idea for like how this functions, and he started pitching the idea of like, hey, I'm building this out. Would you like to pre-invest in this for like lifetime membership to the product later, right? So he offered it early before he even like got started with it. It was more just an idea in his head. But he offered like this checklist solution for workflow for accounting firms after doing like deep investigation with like hundreds of these groups, right? He talked to all of them. He like they all had problems with these checklists. He went and he pitched this idea. He was like, "Hey, you can buy like this level of it for like $50. You can put $50 in, and that'll help me do a little bit of the product development. You can give me like $100, and you'll get like the silver tier of the product once I'm done with it. You can give me like or you can give me like $1,000, $1,500, and I'll go, and that'll like be like a mega tier." But he mainly just left like the 1,500 there just to make the other ones seem like a lot less. But he way oversold it. And because his idea was so good, because he was solving such a really deep problem in accounting, some of the people that he met with were like, "Yeah, I'll go with silver. I'll go with exactly." It sounds essentially like doing a Kickstarter, but with customers, right? Well, like Kickstarter is consumer, but he was going B2B Kickstarter, right? Just doing it himself, right? If that kind of makes sense, right? He was getting directly in touch with the customers. It's exactly like that. He was crowdfunding his product development money, right? He was using revenue before doing it. I like that. I'm going to check that out, Kyle, in a second. But he did that, and he went around to all these accounting firms, and one of them was like, two of them were literally like, "No, I'm in for the 1,500, man." Like it wasn't even that big a deal, but because it was such a huge fucking issue for them, they were like, "Fuck it, I will give you however much money you can you want to solve this goddamn problem." And he built his company off of that, right? That's how he paid the developer that was his co-founder. That's how he built the actual product. They went through, I think, a local accelerator and built it up, and they bootstrapped from there. Like they got a little bit of money from the accelerator, but like beyond that, bootstrapped the whole goddamn thing. So that is the ideal way to build a startup, and they're huge now. They're kicking butt. Like they're a really nice sized company. But that is how like I think a lot more people should approach this kind of thing because that's accessible to everybody. VC, like you said, Jess, like VC works if you know people, right? Like if you are a wildly successful founder who's done stuff before, you know people or you have advisors or that are really deep in with these VCs. A lot of it, honestly, is just knowing people. Like VC invests in so much that they like trust and know. It's like they get recommendations from somebody that they like that like can give them a good rep, and that's where they invest. Honestly, that's a really huge part of venture capital. Um, if you can like build your company with revenue first though, like pre-development of the product, if you can do something like that, you are set, man. Like, ooh, like you'll have a little bit slower of a start, but goddamn, like you no equity given up. You have complete control over everything that's going on. You don't have really a board of directors. You like it's your company, right? And first of all, like you get to sell it, and when you sell it, you if you exit that company or you have revenue coming in, like there's no dilution. Like you don't have to build it to some ridiculous thing to actually make any money off of it. You can make money off of it immediately. That was a little convoluted, but that's the point, right? That's a great example of a bootstrapped company, a bootstrapped startup that does really, 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 really well. It's like Kickstarter, but for B2B. It's exactly how Jess kind of phrased it. And also on what Jess said, if you can get angel investment, like if you can get like rich people that really believe in what you're doing, like let's say I was building a software for to like let's say I was building a special collar for a dog. That's a lame example. Let's say I was building a straw. I was building a really, really cool straw, right? And this straw could be reused. This straw filtered stuff. This straw, like it's like a utensil that you could use, and it helped restaurants like cut down on on environmental stuff. It helped. They didn't have to buy paper straws. They didn't have to buy plastic straws. It like saved a ton of stuff, and it was really convenient and fun for the customer, right? So it was this amazing straw. This is a really stupid fucking example, but you get the point. It was this amazing straw. Let's say I made this amazing straw, and I had this idea for this amazing straw, and I knew that it helped restaurants, and that restaurants wanted it, and there was an issue with buying all of those goddamn straws at restaurants, right? Let's say that was it, and I had this idea for this awesome straw. If I couldn't, like I really, really couldn't raise money from these restaurants, like David Grisillo did with Checkback Workflow with the accountants, like the story I just told. If I really couldn't do that and I needed investment, don't go to venture capital groups. Don't do anything like that. Like kind of just said, talk to angels. And in this case, find somebody that's relevant in the area, right? Like relevant in the industry. So I would go and I would find like who runs like 10 restaurants in Pittsburgh, who runs like who owns like 10 goddamn restaurants in Pittsburgh. Like they're a huge restaurant entrepreneur, right? Find them and be like, yo, I love restaurants. I've been going to restaurants my whole gosh dang life. And I've been always frustrated about this problem, and I bet you have too. But all of your restaurants hate buying straws. Let's just make like a metal straw that makes everything taste nicer, that can be used with hot chocolate as well as wine. Let's like I have this awesome idea for a straw. I know exactly how to build this. This is how I'm going to build it. All I need from you is $50K, right? Find somebody that's stupid rich that is exactly in your industry and pitch it to them and say like, you're going to help me build this company with me. Like you have all the connections. You can actually help me build this and make this a reality. And we'll pioneer the freaking restaurant straw industry, man. Like get them hyped, get them really into this, and find somebody that makes sense. That can connect you with, like, first of all, they could connect me with their 10 restaurants and I could sell to those 10 restaurants immediately. But they could also connect me to a ton of other restaurant entrepreneurs, right? Angels are amazing. Angels are way, way better than VCs. Fuck venture capital, right? Okay, so like that's kind of the example of how of why I prefer angels. And I know a ton of groups in town that have raised money from angels that are kicking ass. Like angels are heroes. Angels are the unsung heroes of the startup world. They're amazing. Let's see what Kyle got for us. Not so glamorous. Story of a real startup success. Like many small startups, recession hit him hard. About to get married and sold a small company for 3 cents on the dollar to fund the couple's brief honeymoon and first don't pop up. And first 3 months of living expenses. 4 months after her wedding, wife got pregnant. Cool. Snagged a job as underwriter for a family-run private equity firm to support their family. Okay, cool. Start smart. Contrary to entrepreneurial lore, Jason didn't just ditch his day job with no safety net. Hey, thank you. I'm actually writing an article on this right now. Don't fucking quit to jump into your startup. That is bullshit. Like that doesn't work. That doesn't happen. You're gonna fuck yourself. Like maybe 1% of the people that hop out of their jobs like and have no idea what they're doing, but they use it as a motivator to start their startup. Maybe like 1% of them make it. But do you really like want to like risk financially fucking yourself when you could just maybe take like an extra year and be way safer with everything? and be way more analytical and not panic. Like, you're putting yourself into panic mode, and panic mode doesn't do any good for you as a startup, by the way. It makes you make poor decisions, and you screw yourself. While you're working your day job on weekends and nights, maybe lose like an hour of sleep a night. I know that's not super healthy. If you can manage it, just like trade an hour of working out, or trade an hour of like maybe just, I don't know, whatever. Maybe order from the store instead of going to the grocery store, and use the time that you make up. Stop reading. Like, trade some time for what you're already doing. Don't watch Netflix, and build your startup while you're working your job. Right? That is what you should be doing if you're starting a job. If you're starting a startup or want to start a side hustle out of a corporate job, you need, like, don't fucking quit and hop right into it. It's BS. It screws so many people over. It's just a dream that everybody sells you. So good. Love this. When he launched the shipping company, he also went back to his roots, starting a small wireless company. Nice. For 2 years, sold shipping services by day and wireless services by night because he knew he could generate income that way. Look at that. Look at fucking that. Great. This is a great article. Gosh damn it, Kyle. You're amazing. I love it. Focus on what you can do well. From your first launch, there's the name Dynamic Shipping Solutions. Offer just one product. A niche product that ships items between 1 and 3 pounds via the U.S. Postal Service. More time that he was spent doing this, the more he saw need for more comprehensive shipping solutions for larger items using various transport and shipping methods. 2012, built technology to help shippers get across access to other solutions, providing the core of IFS. Nice. So he started with something small. This is great. You start with something small in your company. You start with a basic, like a basic product offering that solves like one little problem that you know exists. And as you sit in that industry, right, as you sit doing this and selling this thing, even if it's only like a little bit of money per month, you start to realize other issues, and you're much better positioned to start new, like, little, like, you're much better branching out from an existing customer base than you are starting something but from scratch, right? Starting the big idea from scratch. Start small, please. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm not there yet, but it's so much better. Everybody that I know in Mosgen, every startup that I've ever talked to, started fucking small. It's so much more realistic than going for the big shot, like, right off the bat. That's not how these big companies work, right? Even Amazon started tiny, right? Like, don't expect like to capture everything all at once. Start with a tiny little market space. Start by solving a tiny little problem, and then branch out to solve other similar problems in the industry afterwards, if that kind of makes sense, right? Heck yeah. Anyway, now works with all sizes, fulfillment needs, provides some shipping, also aggregates the power of such clients, and helps them develop cost-effective and efficient. Love it. Yeah, so at scale, once he starts to get more customers, looks great. The company launched a second division in May as a result of one of Johnson's contacts, an idea one of Johnson's contacts presented. Had been interested by a customer was harassing me to start a full-service sales channel, management, fulfillment, and shipping division, helping clients get new business, and then handling fulfillment and shipping. So he started creating like a tool for other shippers to build their businesses, right? Only reason he was able to do that is because he already knew all the shippers. He already knew everybody that would buy this because he had been building a business with them forever, right? So he knew all of the issues that they were working with. So we have where we can sell your products to Bye Bye Baby, Bed Bath & Beyond, or Overstock.com through all these different marketplaces and channels, it says. Interesting. So yeah, he created tools for other people like him because he realized problems in the industry while he was growing his company that was similar to others, right? Take on partners and debt cautiously. Boom. Look at that. Look at that. I like this. Didn't want to be loaded down owing other people money, so if he needed to build an acquisition or hire a new person, he figured out how many new accounts he needed to sell and then go out and do so. Ah, that's cool. Was averse to taking on any sort of debt or equity financing. Good. Because of his experience in 2007 and 2008. Smart. That's good. Like, you hit a recession, you're fucked. Like, nobody's gonna. If we hit another recession, which we probably will, because the market goes up and down. But if we hit another recession, like, VC is gonna like drop off the face of the earth for the period of the recession existing. It just straight up is. Like, investing doesn't happen. It's not. It will just, like, you will have to bootstrap. It will be the only way to build a company. So, like, why would you not do that and be much more stable? I mean, Gary Vee always praises that, and he doesn't give explanation as to why. But, like, he's like, build a company that, like, will survive a recession, right? I'm like, well, fucking of course, yeah. But, like, what does that mean? And it means, like, don't take on a ton of money. Don't always assume that the market is going to be in the same place as it is. And the best way to do that is to bootstrap, because even if you start small, you're not going to get your ass fucked by expectations of like heavy investment, right? So I always say avoid debt and equity financing as much as you possibly can. We're at a point where I feel like we're going to start entertaining some investors or maybe some strategic partners, but we're in a much better place to do so because we don't have to give up 51%. Hey, we've got a proven model, we know how it works. Smart move, exactly. Good Jones co-founder. Is this different? Instagram. Oh, okay, no, that's a different thing. Former food writer, spent his entire career around kind of cookbook brands. Yeah, love it. Super love it. So he took on equity. He took on like financing later once they already had everything figured out, right? Because you lose most of the equity when you're in a really early stage. So I like this. This is a good article. This is really nice. I like it a lot. The startup stories. How our startup almost died. We're dying. Yeah. Running out of time. Hated this Friday. Strange. This is more emotional. Asked many questions of our market in those days, and our product showed that. You just groove yourself. I know that because you're a passionate product guy, and if you did, you couldn't possibly ignore those things. Okay, people hated it. Yeah, and then crickets, nothing. Yeah, this is more emotional of a story. Less informational. And this wasn't super informational, but at least it gives a better idea of how shit actually works, right? That's a much more realistic startup concept idea than, like, that happens way more than VC does. And you should target for this, right? You should aim for that kind of stuff. Freaking fruit flies in my gosh dang house. So this also, Cora doesn't really look like it's super interesting. This is one of the ones that I love this story. I love this story. I was sent this a little while ago because people knew that I liked bootstrapping stuff. Shit's great. This is hilarious. I contacted this guy on Twitter, and I was bugging him. The guy that did this, that runs Deep South Ventures. He's such an interesting fella. He's building like birthdayparties.com right now too. He builds. I posted on him I think this week. What's his name? Peter Askew. It's Peter Askew. He is essentially an entrepreneur that bases his ideas off of domain names, which is really backwards in my opinion. Um, so like he's a little bit like emotional with how he pitches it, and I support the heck out of that. And I think the dude is a fucking genius if he can do this. But like you shouldn't necessarily like run a business this way. Like we'll read it. And I'm going to talk about it afterwards. But I love this story, and we're going to go and read maybe another one of his stories. But Peter Askew is so cool. Follow him on Twitter. He's really awesome. I made a post about him a little earlier if you want to hit him up on LinkedIn too. Doesn't seem like he uses LinkedIn though. Vidalia onions, to be exact, they're classified as a sweet onion because they're mild flavor. They don't make your eyes tear up. Most folks eat them like an apple, so they're a great onion. They're a very high quality onion, right? A very specific kind, kind of like the filet mignon of onions, right? 2008, I believe, a customer shared a story where he smuggled some Vidalia onions on a vacation cruise. During a meal, would instruct the server to take this onion into the bag, chop it up, and add it to my salad. That's pretty funny. Folks who love Vidalias love Vidalias. Let me stop though. I'm a web guy, not a farmer. I'm addicted to domain names. Here's this thing. It didn't start with an idea, which I don't like. Well, it shouldn't start with an idea. It should not start with an idea. It should start with customer discovery. I know, brave man. Jeez, tell me about it, Jess. Like, it's ridiculous. It freaks me the fuck out. It's really crazy. But it makes sense once you go a little bit deeper. I've been buying expired or abandoned domain names for a while, and I enjoy developing them into niche businesses, right? But this one was different, though. I backordered the domain as a spectator, but for shits and giggles, I dropped in a bid about 2,200 because I was confident I'd be outbid. 5 minutes later, I was the proud owner of the domain, so we accidentally got vidaliaonions.com. After the main, I attempted to refocus my attention on other projects, but the name kept clawing on me. Blah, 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 blah. Interest perspective on writing his characters. They essentially wrote themselves. He's trying to relate like writing and how a story develops to how startups work. I think this is a little bit dumb. Like build me, blah 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 blah. I hope he's not watching my stream. This is take the path to nothing and go nowhere until you reach it. Right. He's saying like take the step. Right. Like Indiana Jones stepping off into the frickin' Valley of Death. Whatever. I don't like this part. This isn't realistic. This isn't how people should build startups. But it's interesting that he kind of went this way, right? No VC backer. I used some moderate profit from my other domain name developments to fund the endeavor. This was February of 2015. I'm just dumb enough to try a project of this complexity. The market size justified an online venture. So he knew the market size was huge. He had heard about Vidalia onions before, right? He knew they were a valuable product and that people really liked them. No angel investor. He just started going, right? Let's see. Once I began, I discovered there was a Vidalia Onion Committee, which represented all the Vidalia farmers, so I reached out to them. They were kind enough to listen to me. He introduced me to 3 farmers in the Vidalia region. Love it. I got along quite well with the 3rd farmer I met, so we decided to partner and give this a shot. This farm had been around for 25 years. They hadn't focused direct to consumer, but they understood its value. Operated a packing shed as well, and most importantly, they grew an award-winning Vidalia. So we went. So interesting. So he kind of did customer discovery after the fact. This is where it kind of gets into the place, right? This is where it gets into more realism. He went and he contacted customers because he had an idea of how this would help, right? He had an idea. He went and he tested it. I guarantee you, it didn't go exactly like that. It's not like the idea that he pitched. Everybody was like, "Ooh, boom, perfect," right? He did customer discovery and he went and talked to customers after he bought the domain name. So he likes to buy domain names first because he feels like they are an extremely impactful thing. He just has a different gate for whether or not he does a startup, right? It's whether or not he can find a really nice domain name. But he still does customer discovery, it just comes later. So he has a little bit of a backwards process. It just starts at a different point, but it goes through essentially the same process. It's interesting. Got along quite well with the 3rd farmer I met. Decided to partner and give it a shot. He grew great onions, so we went. Conservatively estimated 50 orders for our 2015 season, and we ended up with over 600. While the farm concentrated on the Vidalia, I concentrated on customer service, marketing, branding, web development, and logistics. I didn't have other products that were this front-facing, customer-wise, and I discovered I immensely enjoyed it. So he built the website out of VidaliaOnions.com. He used the domain to build a website that was direct to consumer, right? And he did marketing. He's not going into the details here. I wish he did more. But the farmer just was going to sell through his channel. He convinced him that he was going to build a dope channel, and that like as long as he got that farmer to sell to him, he was going to be the middleman and help them sell products, right? And help them sell their onions. Makes sense, right? He's being a middleman for an industry, a very, very niche industry, and it's a specific onion, right? So what he did is he probably found customers that were interested in this. He found high-level, like high-quality restaurants. He found like 5-star restaurants. He found people that really like. I'm sure he looked up foods that like have common onions in them. I'm sure he looked up where Vidalia onions are most typically used, what kinds of foods really like them. He found those restaurants and he found the suppliers of those restaurants through and just by phone calls, hopping on phone calls, talking to people through email, right? Like connections with just humans and figuring out where the supply chain functions. He found out where they source their onions from. Said, "I can sell them to you cheaper." Right? That's likely what he did. And if they accepted that, that's how he got the orders. So he marketed to those groups using like maybe online groups. Maybe he used something like LinkedIn. Who fucking knows, right? He tested out different channels. He's glazing over a lot of that, but that's likely what he did. Marketing, branding, customer service, web development, and logistics. He figured out how all that functions. Oh, hey, my friend is playing Civ 5. And he went through all of that process, right? Like he aggressively marketed to the groups that he knew he could sell this cheaper to, because there would be no middleman now, right? He's the middleman. He can undercut because now it's not a supplier to a restaurant, to a person, right? Now it's just onion, person. No, now it's just farmer to restaurant. Now it's not like farmer to supplier to second supplier to wholesaler to restaurant. Now it's just farmer to restaurant, right? For him as the middleman, kind of, but he just facilitates that, right? So that's what he did. That was all the back door kind of on the back burner kind of stuff, and that's fascinating to me. We had a phone order hotline, which from time to time generated more sales than online. Interesting. Okay, so here we go. This is nice. He didn't glaze over all of it. The more we focused on these efforts, the more we grew, so much so the other Vidalia operations began shutting down their mail order efforts and simply directed folks our way. Interesting. So by building a brand in this very hyper niche industry where other people weren't really doing much, they started to build a bit of a reputation, right? Began testing alternative market avenues. A billboard on the I-95 just south of Savannah, GA, facing northbound traffic, sponsoring a bike rider headed cross country for charity, sponsoring a high school basketball team, as well as grade school auction. So he tested, like these are just the highlights, right? These are the funniest things. They tested a lot of different marketing avenues, right? That's the moral of the story. They tested shitloads of everything. They went crazy with testing different marketing tactics and different branding tactics. They sponsored a bike rider. That's so weird. At a phone order hotline, so they started upping the channels that people can get in touch with them, upping the logistical avenues. Made a few colossal mistakes, which is entirely my doing, like blowing $10,000 on a faulty shipping boxes from an ill-informed and misleading box manufacturer. Shit happens. My customers would be quite upset if we disappeared. Last season, I called a gentleman back regarding a phone order, and his wife answered. While I introduced myself, she interrupted me mid-sentence and hollered in exhalation to her husband, "The Vidalia man! The Vidalia man! Pick up the phone!" So that's boom right there. Like that's product market fit, right? Like the only reason that he started this was because he had product market fit to start. People were interested in this. Like it was a problem because people were willing to partner with him whether or not like they do anything, right? Like this it's fascinating to me. At that moment, I realized we were doing something right, something helpful, something that was making a positive impact. Product market fit. Product market fit. That's right there. That is where people. He knows he's helping people. It's obvious. The customers love it. That is product market fit. That's where he hit it. Sometimes I say I prefer a project that focuses on purpose over profit. As we enter our 5th season, this one continues to do just that. It's immensely gratifying. I feel so fortunate to be associated with industry. I'm Peter Askew, and I sell onions on the internet. Love it. Look at him. Searchbound. At Searchbound. Twitter. I suggest go following him. He's hilarious. We leverage automated machine learning to enhance your existing BI visualizations with more proactive insights. Me. I sell onions on the internet. Love it. Love it, dude. Oh, well, let me sign in. I'm not signed in for Twitter. Shit's great. The field during harvest. These have been dug and ready for clipping. Isn't that cool? Look at this. That's awesome. Look at all those Vidalia onions. Look at all them onions. Pretty cool, right? Pretty goddamn cool. So, but the only reason that he got started, it wasn't because he had the great domain name, right? It was not because he had a great domain name. That's not why he got started. The reason he got started is because he thought it was cool, bought a domain name, and then a customer liked it. Somebody that was going to like help him, he partnered with somebody that knew it was a problem, right? He stumbled into the problem. This dude has like hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of domain names that he goes through. If you like look on his Twitter, he teaches you how to like buy expiring domain names and all that sorts of stuff. He like that is not, if you buy a great domain name, that doesn't mean you're gonna make a great startup. He bought a domain name, he decided to hop into it, and it just so happened that it was a really big problem, and he was able to start from there, and he was able to keep going, right? Like that's how it happened. It was customer discovery before anything else, right? It's still the same process. He just starts with domain names because it's a little bit more fun, right? Oh, I'm sorry. But yeah, I love this guy. I think this is a fascinating approach, and I think he really nails down, like he goes into enough detail that it kind of shows the actual process, right? Um, so yeah, but it's not about making that leap. He was already making money. He was just screwing around with some ideas, and he made a side hustle, and it turned out to be something much bigger, right? It's not Indiana Jones. Nobody does that. And a little bit inspiring, but he's addicted to domain names. It's super interesting. So let's read more about this guy. This is Deep South Ventures, by the way. DeepSouthVentures.com. Love him. The dude that built DudeRanch.com. I haven't read this yet. But I think that's super interesting. And I actually bought a domain name that I might want to do for a neat little Awapui. Awapui is a fun little thing. I remember this being cool. My girlfriend loves this scent called Awapui because it's mostly made into shampoo, right? But it's interesting because the plant looks like this. It's like this weird little odd Hawaiian thing, but it's it was initially, I think, from somewhere else, but Hawaii grows it really commonly. It's all about this kind of thing. I have a domain name for this, and I'm going to see like if this is an issue, right? If the people that make the shampoo, it's also used in food and for other scents like it's like a fragrance in cologne and perfume. It'd be interesting. It'd be interesting to see if this is like something that I can make a little wholesaling website out of. So I thought it was a cool idea. Bought a domain name for fun. We'll find out. It might be fun to build on an entrepreneur sometime. But yeah, great inspiration for something. So let's check out DudeRanch.com. What is he building here? Outdoor Petty was filled with dude ranchers. Yearly conference, a vendor. I was there as a vendor, first time attendee. Remember? I approached the crowd. I didn't know anyone. Total fraud. I don't belong here. What am I doing? I kept walking. Dude Ranch, duderanch.com. First person I approached was Dave Leishman, owner-operator of the Bar with Guest Ranch in Montana. I introduced myself, and once Dave glanced down at my name tag, first words off his mouth were, "How in the hell did you get that domain name?" Me, oh my gosh, where do I begin? Because you should know where it came from. You had expired, peeked your head out of the domain name auction block. Dude Ranch in New York State abandoned you. It had apparently gone out of business. I failed to renew your registration, and domain names typically due before you're released to general auction. You're put up for the highest bidder. At that point, I've been investing in developing expired domain names for 3 years, long before I began selling onions on the internet. I love that. My development philosophy was just that idea being that skip the idea phase and just buy a great domain name and let the domain guide me toward what it wanted to become. A little silly, but it makes sense given we know that he does customer discovery. He uses the domain name to get him into customer discovery, right? He uses it as an avenue. So I think this is what he does. So Vidalia Onions, the reason that helped him was because he didn't know if it was an industry beforehand, right? He didn't know if there was an opportunity there. He had a cool idea. He thought it might be nice. He didn't talk to anybody beforehand. He just knew about the industry. He had some introduction to the industry. But what he does is he used the domain name to help him with marketing, to help him brainstorming via domain name. Yeah, no, exactly. Brainstorming is cool. That's fine. The brainstorming is cool. You can brainstorm other ways. But the reason that he does domain name auctions is because if he can get a great domain name, then that gives him a little bit of a boost on starting the startup, right? Because with Vidalia Onions, that person, that customer, if he just had the idea, that farmer of Vidalia Onions may not, maybe they would have, but they may not have gone and talked to him, right? They may not have gone to talk to him, but suddenly he has a bit of credibility in that industry automatically because he has a dope domain name. Because people take domain names way too seriously. And because of that, when he goes into places without tech, without like kind of startup savviness, right? He is able to have much more reputation just starting out with nothing than a lot of other people that maybe try to build the same idea. So this is interesting, actually. This is really cool. He uses it as an avenue for reputation before doing customer discovery into something, right? I'm sure he wastes tons of money on this, but it's also just fun to have cool little side domains, right? And this is actually, I may like try to build something with him. So Deep South Ventures sounds like they help you build these kinds of companies. If I do something with the little Awapui thing, maybe I'll work with him and I'll do a little side hustle and I'll build it with his group, right? Maybe he'll help me build it. Might be kind of fun. But I would absolutely rather do it through that. He's literally built something almost exactly the same, right? If we can build that, like, why the fuck would I not want him with me? First of all, he might invest a little bit of money in it and help me like start it up. Maybe I lose half the company, but fuck it. Like, I'm probably not going to be able to figure it out on my own. He's done it before, right? He's an angel. He is an angel. He's an accelerator that is not a venture capitalist. He is the type of person that I would want to reach out to if I was building a wholesaler auction source online because he's done it before. Wow, I'm getting worked up. My head. You know when you get like tinglies in your hands because you hyperventilated? When I was a kid, I would do this all the time. I would hyperventilate from talking so much. So it's a wonder, it's a shocker that I've gotten into doing live streaming. I will regularly, especially when I'm talking to my mom, because she just lets me talk, I will regularly hyperventilate just talking, and I'm doing it a little bit now. I'm getting lightheaded because I'm talking so much. Deep breaths. Anyway, I want to reach out to him and do this because this would be really fun. But anyway, I think that'll be a great little business. But once I get things a little bit more stable on a bunch of my other shit, right? But heck, man. Also, how many viewers do we have? We're doing okay. So skip the idea phase and just buy a great domain name. He has hundreds of domain names. I think domain names are a great way to brainstorm, right? But using a domain name is a fascinating little thing that I've never heard of. You use it as an avenue into an industry because people take you 10 times more seriously if you have the domain name, right? Fascinating. My first development attempts were smaller in scope, but craved a bigger opportunity. To deep dive on one subject, one industry, one sole focus, I could push my chips behind and play the long game. All layered on a great .com domain. So I hit the pause button on my piecemeal acquisition pursuits, take a step back, and wait. Monitor and analyze the expired domain names list every day, 7 days a week, searching for one name for a domain that struck my interest, that had a built-in business model that might be fun and fulfilling to develop. Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. This is 2008-ish. duderanch.com and inspired. Adrift without an anchor. I was ready for you. Blah, 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 blah. Cool. Wow, that's beautiful. Fuck. A niche vacation industry dating back over 130 years. The personal parallels. Hey, that's cool, Jess. Yeah, no, I actually do that too. I'll go on GoDaddy and I'll find like entrepreneur.blog, like right, like I had like the studyingentrepreneur.com I think before, which is what I was initially going to name entrepreneur, the studying entrepreneur, which does not have the same ring to it as entrepreneur, I gotta say, but I do it too. I do the exact same thing too. I was shocked that YesPGH was a thing. And I'll talk about it at the end of this, but I'm starting right now a little hiring thing in Pittsburgh to help startups hire employees. And as I'm doing that, creating that hiring resource, the name of it came out of the fucking domain, right? I absolutely name things out of the domains. It's funny. I prefer mountains to beach. I prefer unplugging. I prefer handshakes to LinkedIn connections. Fuck you. No wonder you didn't accept my LinkedIn request. Prefer authenticity. All hallmarks of a dude ranch vacation. My wife and daughter meeting horses at Moosehead Ranch. Cute. Aw. I was sold, but I didn't own it yet. The auction had a few days remaining. Hell, I didn't even know if I could afford your final bid price. So I determined the range I consider, and there's possible business models that might fit well under your tutelage, as the profit could pay for your investment. Here's how I thought. From a business development standpoint, the revenue numbers from the industry were encouraging. An all-inclusive weekend rate for a family of 4 hovers around $8,000, $20K per week for fancy destinations. Ranches are heavily advertised in several spots, online and offline, so marketing and advertising weren't a foreign concept to them. Great. Love this. He's validating the industry based on what's existing, right? He's not trying to come up with some fancy new idea. He's just looking to create a better version of what exists. What you're building doesn't have to, like, for fuck's sake, like, my main business, mossgeneration.com, that I'm building right now through sponsorship, like, that main thing, like, fuck that, like, startup groups. There's one in Philly. There's a group in Philly that's way more successful than Moss Generation. They're a bit diluted with corporates, but they're essentially the same goddamn thing, and they have already made it. Like, you don't have to build something completely new. You just have to do it better, right? You don't even have to do it better sometimes. Sometimes you just have to capture a different market share. Like, fuck. So don't always assume. Like, he's taken this same route. He's not thinking tech. He's not thinking anything fancy. He's just like, hey, maybe I can do it better with a cool domain name. That aspect allowed me to consider building a marketplace for Dude Ranch vacations where potential guests could window shop for destinations that fit their needs. Sure, there were a few other websites that provided this service already. Sure, there were a few other websites that provided this service already, but I felt I could build a simpler UI to make it easier to navigate and research. That sounded good to me, so I went with that. So he's creating an easier version of an already existing solution. There were a few already existing solutions, but if he could simplify it and make it better with a catchy domain name, fuck. I love this. I love this guy. I'm going to become best friends with this dude. I'm going to be totally honest with you guys. This is my new best friend. Just so you know. Faster, cheaper, better. Boom. That's all you need. That's all you need, Toast. Fascinating. I assumed I could sign up 50 dude ranches during my first year at $250 per year each, but half as cheap as my competitors. Cheaper. Boom. 50 times 250, $12,000, $12,050 per year. You've exposed my whole business model. Well, I just built the same thing with a twist. Exactly, Jess. Exactly. I'm glad you're on the same boat. Don't try to build something completely new. It doesn't have to be completely new. In fact, it shouldn't be completely new because then you have to reinvent an entire fucking industry. Just build something better. Find something that exists that sucks and redo it better. Oh, here we get into something that I don't like. $12,500 per year. I assumed I could sign up another 50 up my second year. The number seemed to work for me, so my rough budget was $25,000, all partially funded by my consulting work and saving I had cobbled together working at a software startup as a product manager. No wonder this dude's a fucking badass, because he's a product manager at a startup. He has the experience. You son of a bitch, Peter. Shit. I love him. I love this guy. I want to start a blog like this. Oh, entrepreneurs should be a blog like this at some point in the future, once I'm actually successful, which I am not. Anyway, it's wild that he just jumped in like this. This dude is risky. I didn't have $2,500 liquid at the time, so I was getting all ongoing credit cards, which I predicted I could pay off in 6 to 9 months. If the auction price went above $25K, I'd be forced to wing it and use my gut to determine how much financial pain I was willing to endure to acquire you. No Visa, no angels, just me. That info until I was ready. Interesting. So he was willing to go up to 25,000. Damn. Date of your auction was 2009. The week prior, no shit. I had weird floating dreams of a floating silverware hovering in front of me like a ping pong ball floating a jet of. What? Oh my god, I love this guy. He's so dramatic. I was waiting to rescue you, for you to fall into my hands. The closer your auction date creeps, I began to develop a slow, simmering animosity towards anyone who considered outbidding me. This is great. This is all fun. Nope. That's from like a boss. 3 p.m. the active bidding began. Online domain name. There's no ability to snipe. All bids placed within the last 5 minutes trigger the countdown clock to reset back to 5 minutes. Pre-bidding and push the price up to 3433. That's where I began. Other person bids 4,000. Me? Nope. Other person 4,200. Me? Nope. And so until this. Nope. Sorry. Nope. Sorry. Nope. Sorry. Nope. Sorry. Nope. Sorry. Nope. Sorry. Nope. 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 That's great. Wow. He went up pretty high. Damn. Red height. That's him. Damn, dude. Fox 22. Wow. He went up to 18,000. Shit, man. Don't do this. Don't do this. Like, yeah, I know, dude is tripping. This dude's nuts. I had a euphorically uncomfortable feeling. Yeah, I fucking wonder why. The 10-year adventure you took me on is difficult to enunciate. It's been an overwhelming blessing. God damn. For a few years, we know we partnered with our friendly competitor, GuestWrenches.com, operated by Dave McCullough. Both remain independent, but work together for an advertising sales standpoint. Effectively, one bill for ranchers to advertise on 2 sites. That's cool. That's really cool. Oh, so they combined. So when they reached out to ranches, they would say, hey, we have guest ranches and dude ranches. We'll advertise on both collectively if you pay us a certain amount. Not a bad idea. That's a good example of a nice partnership, right? Began traveling to as many dude ranches as possible. Most oftentimes with David. Cool. David McCullough. McCullough? Whatever. Sometimes solo. I wanted to soak in the soul of the industry. It's one that had been around for over 100 years. Understand how it evolved over time and how it continues to evolve today. Your tucked away locations were jaw-gapingly beautiful. During each new dude ranch visit, I would shake my head in happiness at the unique characteristics each location presented. I started collecting dude ranches. Dude ranch belt buckles, like this. Really? Wow, this is significantly nicer than this. Ooh. Wow. This is what a weird industry. It's all I wear anymore to keep my pants up. I love this guy. It sounds cliche, but it's not the places or locations or the history that makes the industry place. It's the people. They exude kindness, compassion, and resourcefulness. Awesome. Absolutely. The experience, open arms. Cool, cool, cool. Love the industry. He went into it after doing a bit of research and buying an $18,000 domain. This dude is tripping, but I support him. What I experienced. Let's see. What am I missing? Visited over 50 dude ranches now from locations. Shining gem within the universal vacation landscape. Cool. It's recreation. Industry gives you that. That's what I experienced. Blah, blah, blah. Great industry. Loves the industry. Some of those other projects failed, but others began working. The successful projects began siphoning more of my time, the point where it wasn't fair to you. I began noticing the signs last year, but I forcibly ignored them. It means so much to me. Realized you, in many ways, had outgrown me, and the nest I made for you matured. With zero traffic to our baseline when we launched, we grew to over 146,000 page views a year, driven via SEO, press, social newsletters, and pittance of paid traffic. Fascinating. You became a brand. Ranches now refer to you as a noun instead of a question mark. You were graduating high school and I didn't even know. You were ready to move on. I realized I understand. For you, my dearest, my first. Oh my god. Just relax, dude. Incorporating an industry like dude ranching into your identity is something you easily attach from. To be honest, I don't think I'll ever accomplish it. Let's just say this. My love, I'll see you on the trail. So it sounds like he sold yeah, it sounds like he sold the business to somebody else and had them run it for him. Wow, this is pretty though. Fuck, dude. Fuck. This is like where I'm from. I'm from places like this. Middle of nowhere. Ooh, this is nice. Yeah, I'm from places like this. This is nice. Wow. Ever consider a dude ranch possible? Duderanch.concierge. Yep. Bob will reach out to schedule a call. Love it. That's super cool. Super, super cool. I love this. So this is a bit more crazy. This is a bit wild, duderanch.com. A little bit crazy, but it's interesting. It's very, very interesting how people take domain names so fucking seriously. He's talking to the domain name. He's being so Toast asked, "Who the hell is this you?" He's talking to. He's talking to the domain name. He's being a little emotional about it, which I like. I appreciate. I think it's funny, um, but it's absolutely fascinating. Absolutely fascinating how he does stuff like this. Super interesting. Super fucking interesting. I love this guy. I want to be his friend, and I will be his friend. Oh, love it. Very, very cool. Really cool shit, guys. Like, oh, I love people like him. I love entrepreneurs like him. That's the kind of entrepreneur that I want to be. I just want to become like a serial wild dude that just does a ton of little businesses. Would it be fair to would it be fair to be fair, it would only take him a few weekly bookings to recoup that 18K. Yes, but you have no guarantee that you're actually tackling an industry that cares about whatever the fuck you're selling, right? Like he's assuming that having the domain gets him into it's mostly partnerships. So he works with existing groups. He's just a middleman. A lot of his businesses are just middlemaning. And the reason that he's able to get into this, so look, Hank, I agree with you. To be fair, it would only take him a few weekly bookings to recoup that 18K. That makes sense. That's why he was down with that, right? He takes a cut off the top, 250K. That's not what I'm concerned about, right? Like he could totally make that money back. But what if nobody gives a fuck, right? What if there's already an existing website? He's done research on it, but what if everybody trusts the other existing websites way more? He's fucked. He spent 18K and he's screwed, right? He can spend a whole lot of effort on everything, but it's maybe there's no product market fit there. Quite simply, quite plain and simple. Maybe there's no product market fit there. If it's he did research beforehand, but it didn't seem like enough. That's my opinion. Maybe he did. Maybe he's not including all of that research. But regardless, it's just interesting because he's all of his little startups with Vidalia Onions, with Dude Ranch, all of those are based off of the reputation that he builds with the domain name. Exactly. 18K is a lot to invest on a hunch. It's a fuckload to invest on a hunch. And it's not so. Also, it didn't sound like he could recoup it in 6 to 9 months. That's he wasn't fucking himself, right? If I went and I maxed out 3 credit cards that I couldn't pay back for a $1,500 domain, something like that, I'm fucking myself. No offense, but I am straight fucking myself. I don't, he's a product manager. He knew that he could do stuff like this. He had the experience. If you're just doing this on your own, you are fucking yourself. If you go and buy a really crazy domain name for a ridiculous amount of money, assuming that it's going to grow just because of the domain name. That's not because of the domain name. He's just using the domain name to get a leg up in the industry, right? He could totally build it on any other domain name, but it takes way more time, right? But it's interesting that he uses the domain name to gain more flex, to gain more power and gain more reputation in the industry, because all of his businesses are partnering with existing groups, partnering with existing suppliers, and he's just the advertising avenue. He's not building some fancy tech product. It's not like if I wanted to build an app, if I wanted to build a straw app, right? And I wanted to sell those things, and I wouldn't go and spend a ton of money to buy straw.com, right? I wouldn't spend like 10K to buy straw.com. Or straws.com, right? That's stupid. That's stupid. Especially if you're coming up with a new industry. What he's using is existing industries, stuff that already exists, and he's getting in with existing suppliers the only reason that they'll trust him, or one of the big reasons that they'll trust him, is because of this existing domain. That is fascinating to me. That is absolutely fascinating. The internet is killing the middleman anyway. It makes it easier for business to connect directly to consumers. It does, exactly. So if there are industries that work through a ton of middlemen, that's ripe for disruption. Straight up, right? So he was finding ways right as the internet was booming. This may be way harder than it's definitely going to be way harder. Well, actually, the I sell onions on the internet happened not too long ago, but it's That's his strategy. His strategy is to find existing suppliers, cut out the middleman, and do a better job advertising through simpler UI that he has experience with because he's a product manager, and a great domain name to gain reputation among the suppliers. Fascinating. That's very, very clever. That's very, very clever. Mans is a genius. I want to try to build something with him at some point. I want to hit him up. I really want to hit him up. Ooh, whoever you are, Anxiety Batman. Oh, another handsome white guy fascinated by finance. I hope you won't forget about all of us in the 99% when you join the ruling class. First of all, you're absolutely right. Second of all, thank you for calling me handsome. Third of all, I agree completely with you. I'm going to do a bit of a rant. If you're still on, Anxiety Batman, I'm going to do a bit of a rant on what you just said because you're absolutely 100% true. Like, I've ranted a little bit about this just to get out sidetracked for 5 minutes on what we're talking about with domain names. Startups are great. Startups are awesome. Startups are usually for the 1%, especially when it comes to venture capital. You're not fucking coming out of nowhere. Like, 99% of, like, 95% of venture capital goes to white old dudes. It doesn't even go to women. It doesn't even go to white women, right? And when it comes to minorities, like racial minorities, like that kind of shit doesn't even fucking like it. Nobody. Silicon Valley sucks even more in that respect. It's ridiculous. Oh, a guy knows about finance and understands that our nation is a creative oligarchy. It's that's being. So looking at oligarchies like South Korea and like larger groups like that where shit is run by business, it you're half right, right? Like we're not a true oligarchy. We're a creative oligarchy. That's an interesting way to say it. Like the entire U.S. right? Like the U.S. is 100% like it's not dystopian yet, but we are built off of a lot of like existing racial shit. Like freaking for fuck's sake, like slavery was banned in the 1800s, halfway through the 1800s. That's 2 fucking generations ago. You think that as a minority that was affected by that shit so deeply, you can kind of claw out of that with 2 generations of your family? It doesn't work like that. Whereas we've been all like, well, a lot of white people have been chilling on like doing really really well for a while. They have like existing family wealth. Like there's a huge advantage to have that, right? Like being white is a big fat advantage, right? We're getting will definitely become the post-corporate ownership point of our nation's history. Interesting. So, interesting point. I'm not sure. I have no idea. I don't pay enough attention to politics. I'm going to be totally honest with you. I'm trying to get a little bit more into politics. Yes, we are. We're getting way off topic. Point is, I agree with you. There's a lot of fucked up shit. Startups are a little bit like startups have been classically for the upper class, right? Yeah, totally. I get you, dude. I totally get you, dude. Startups are for the upper class. The purpose of Entrepreneur, the entire purpose of what we're doing here, and actually, let's start the rant, actually, because I want to get into this. We've talked about domain names. We talk about this kind of stuff. I love startups of this level. VC, all of that kind of stuff is it's overhyped, man. Like the Silicon Valleys of the world, they're wrong for all they're successful for all the wrong reasons. You don't want to be in that. You want to build these small little things. You want to find like clever domain names. You want to get into industries where there's third-party suppliers. This doesn't take a ton of money. He's being really like crazy with some domain names. I guarantee you can snipe domain names for $0. You can snipe it in different creative ways, or you can find something local. Like I bought the domain name Higher PGH for Pittsburgh, right? Higher PGH. Like everybody's going to assume that when they go to higherpgh.com, exactly, only 0.05% of startups get VC funding. That's crazy. Fuck VC. Fuck investment. Like build something bootstrapped. Build something that's possible. Build something that you don't need some ridiculous amount of tech to go into. Find an existing industry, no matter who you are. Build it cleverly. Like find existing customers and bootstrap it. Kickstart it via B2B customers, right? Like find people that need what you are trying to create, and they'll pay you before you build it. Like there's a lot of that, and not a lot of people talk about it because it's not sexy. It's not fun. It's ridiculous. So like the goal of Entrepreneur, like in long term, is kind of essentially to kind of break down exactly what Anxiety Batman is trying to talk about. Like, it's to break down the bullshit that startups are for the upper class, and people don't think startups are for the upper class. That's the problem. The existing institutions, the existing VC, like all of that kind of stuff, it is for the upper class. It is for people that have tons of advantages. It's for people that went to elite schools and had the ability to go into to get into these industries, right? Find one big anchor client, build something that's actually a great point, Toast. If another great avenue to that is like build something internally in a group. Like, I was trying to pitch to Goodwill. I had the little 412 thrift idea where I advertised thrift stores, kind of like what he's talking about, right? Kind of like what the Deep South Ventures was talking about with the domain name kind of struggles. If you can find like a big anchor client, and build something for them internally. Like, if I went to Goodwill, the biggest thrift store chain in the US, right? And I said, like, hey, I can build you a really sick online platform that helps you advertise what you're doing in local groups and make you more trustworthy and help give a bit more vision into what's going on so more people visit your stores. I help you advertise, right? If they said yes to that, they didn't say yes, they didn't have enough money, and it wasn't a big thing. If they said yes to that, I build that internally. Whoa, the text is covering my face. I appreciate the big comment. I'm reading the anxiety. If you can do that internally in one like larger organization, then spin it out into something else, that's great. That shit is sick, right? A lot of that stuff is not publicized. All these accelerators, all these incubators, all the Y Combinators, all this stuff is for the elite fucking class. Like, it's for the people that already have existing advantages. That's the only reason I'm able to get into it, right? The reason that I'm fluffy is because like I have advantages. Like, yes, sure, I have worked hard. I have done a lot. I like that. Do not discount hard work. Do not discount being a smart individual and working hard and learning what you want. Like, that is also important. Sure, I try very hard. But fuck, right? Like, if I was in a different a different life, like, I definitely wouldn't have had the advantages that I have. So the point of Entrepreneur is to break down as much of this bullshit, is to like fuck VC, fuck angel investors, fuck like be creative with how you raise your startup, bootstrap it, and even if you live in the middle of nowhere, even if your family has $0, if I can create a program online, first of all an educational program, but also like a free incubator where you apply and I help you build a business, no matter like what you're doing, where you're from, or what your education level is, if you can create an incubator like that online, you can make a real fucking societal impact. Like, you could make a real goddamn societal, economic, and that's a social impact that helps make entrepreneurship accessible to everybody, where it is not right now, but it's possible. I guarantee you. I believe so hard in this that it is possible. Fuck. What does Anxiety Batman say? VC is also bad business for people. Talk to any VC and they want to start something new, make it profitable, and sell it off. Last time I had a class on this, the professor said something like 70% of successful ventures don't survive the sell-off, and a lot of people is about maintaining monopoly or at least market domination. Oh yeah, totally, absolutely. You can see me selling shit to VCs. I don't know whether to take that as a compliment or a burn, but I appreciate it nonetheless. But you're totally right. A lot of VC stuff, it's really sucky. Yes, 25% of new business in the US are started by immigrants, which is awesome. It's happening. It's great. I guarantee you, these aren't like the startups, right? And they're not poor immigrants, right? They are people that have had that have a bit of experience with this. Maybe they're from a different country, sure, but they have like the ability and the network. Like, maybe it's somebody from India that came over, and they had started previous businesses in India, right? And then they come over here. They have resources. They have revenue. They have cash flow. They know how to hire people. They can outsource stuff back there because maybe they like. I guarantee you that's a big part of it, right? I'm not saying immigrants. I'm not saying anything like that. I'm just saying like people with less economic value, extended family for labor. Interesting. That's interesting. I'm going to read that article later. I'm going to save that. Actually, here, let me pull that up. Bop. Clicky. Cool. I'm going to save that for later. I speak quickly. Yes, I talk very quickly. I've been told that. But you're right. Right, and I like the vision for Entrepreneur at some point. It is not even close to there yet, but God fucking damn it, like there needs to be more for the economically impaired and the economically less fortunate. There needs to be avenues to start businesses because that's how you get a community like out of poverty. That's how you get like people building jobs. That's how you help the economy. Like that's how you help like social stigmas go away. Like I think entrepreneurship can help the world. And it does not currently, nearly as much as it could. And that's what I want Entrepreneur to be at some point in the future. I want to create an online incubator that make like a location agnostic incubator online full of education on not startups, on small businesses, on small product focused businesses. Those are still technically startups, but they're not high growth VC startups, right? I want to create that. That's what I want Entrepreneur to be. So, sorry for the rant. You speak quickly, you're informed, you create consensus by agreeing and spinning through. I think you sincerely agreed before, clearly. Though I think you sincerely agreed before, clearly have that skill. It's not a burn. Communication skills and knowledge behind that. Thank you. I appreciate you, Anxiety Batman. You should hit me up. We should talk. Did you find me via Twitch or did you find me via LinkedIn? I'm curious because I've never had somebody jump on and be so gosh dang. If you're on only Twitch, you found me on Twitch. No fucking way. That's really cool. I didn't even link this as a business stream. That's really dope, dude. Hit me up on LinkedIn if you want. It would be great to connect. Or if you don't want to, that's also totally fine. But I appreciate you hopping on and being totally honest with everything. I really appreciate it. As soon as my startup's giving me a couple to just not have to do anything I don't want to. I just want to invest in cool companies. Smart. Totally, dude. Absolutely. So Jess wants to become an angel. Yeah, absolutely. I love that kind of shit. But there are a shocking. If I may impose on you, there are a shockingly small amount of angels that don't invest in like the tech startups, right? Like be an angel that invests in like small stuff, right? Be an angel that invests in small things here and there. Or do both, right? Like do whatever you want, but like invest in stuff that you're passionate about, that you think like find people that are just that have like the mentality that they're gonna freaking like get it done no matter what, and find like give them the advantage that they wouldn't have getting it elsewhere, right? If they're an awesome company, like sure you want to invest in them, but if there's somebody that's never gonna get this chance again, like consider them maybe a little bit more, because that's how you really help the world and really help people. Because I guarantee you, like their mentality is going to be a lot more giving than than a lot of people from the upper class, because it's just not embedded into us. Yes, actually. So that's also something that I want to get into. If I build this on an incubator, the SBA enterprise zones, like these opportunity zones, I know people that work in startups that use those to their advantage. Like that's awesome. I'm gonna read your thing in a second, Anxiety. It's like using these existing, like there's a lot of government benefits that try to make this a big thing, but the education is still lacking there, right? And so if I can make an impact on the educational side, hopefully I can funnel more people to these existing resources, because the government is actually genuinely trying really hard to make to make entrepreneurship more accessible. But it's not just about giving grants, it's about the education. A lot of people just don't know how to get started, and it sucks a lot of booty, right? There's too much overhyped. So when kids go online and they Google startups, they get all the wrong information. When they follow Gary Vaynerchuk, they get all the wrong information. When they follow the big kahunas of the entrepreneurship world on social media, they get all the wrong fucking information. It's just not helpful, and it's just hustle. It's fluff and hustle, and nobody does anything with that. Oh, but dude, like there's still so much opportunity for everybody, and I just want to make it accessible to everybody. So what does Anxiety Batman say? You don't want to network with me. I'm really smart, but I'm a lie about. I want to become a professional tennis player, but I'm too small currently. 20-year-old, so I'm hoping that changes. But I teach tennis and I go to college right now. Point being, interest in VC is a subject, but not as a profession. The biggest issue for small businesses is that they don't scale and don't know how. Love it, dude. So I don't. I'm not saying like we're gonna connect and make a business together. That's not why I'm not trying to network. I just think you're a dope dude, and I appreciate you hopping on. I would love to have you on more streams if you have the time. I don't want to take it up, but I appreciate people like you being honest about this kind of shit. It gives me a lot of really good stuff to talk about, and it's honest, right? It gives people a really valid understanding about how shit actually works is the raw truth. So I appreciate it. Regardless, not looking to network or bug you or hop on a call with you, nothing like that. But Anxiety Batman is not following. But if you want to hit me up, I do streams every weekend. I won't be doing one next week, but I try to talk about a lot of this stuff, right? I try to like go into education. I appreciate you for following, dude. I would love to see you on more streams. They don't know how to scale. They don't scale and don't know how to. Yeah, that's fair. But also like, if small businesses were super easy to start, I feel like it would be considered an avenue, right? It would be considered an actual avenue for people for like a career, right? But currently, like the education system is so focused on getting a job, right? And after that, like nothing else. It's I don't know. It's messy. There's a lot of mess. There's a lot of mess around it. But yeah, you're right. People don't know how to scale. Very few people know about all the resources like the Pitt Innovation Institute and the Duquesne SBDC. They're all free, funded by our taxes. Look at that. Exactly. Why does nobody know about that kind of stuff, right? Education is poor, distribution is poor for this kind of stuff. That's what I really want to help. I really, really want to help that kind of shit. And an online incubator would be amazing. Oof. Oof. Goddamn. This has been probably the most passionate rant that I've had in a while. I appreciate the help anxiety. So small businesses are very time taking on debt to scale or delegating. Delegation is a huge thing. Yeah, there's a lot of advantage. I've started delegating things just here and there, and it's awesome. But a lot of people, there's a lot of issues. They're all listing existing issues, right? There's just to be totally honest, the whole thing is a shit show. Nobody knows how to do anything because there's no education on it, right? I would just love to create an incubator or help, like even just create a bunch of them. Like if, fuck, man. The second that I get shit under, man, the second that like some of my little businesses that I'm running right now, the second that that gets under me, like I'm gonna go ham on building some sort of an online incubator. That would be the most fun thing that I could ever do in my life. First of all, because I'm really helping people, and second of all, like there's nothing like that. I haven't been able to find anything. Mom and pop know how to make business, foster and care for locally. But the next step after that is huge. Standards get higher, competition is huge. You have to start making enough profit to pay for management and financial franchises. Go ham on LinkedIn memes, please. I will go ham on LinkedIn memes. This is a great thing. For context, I had a little stream a couple streams ago where I just dicked around just for fun, and we made memes about LinkedIn and how trashy LinkedIn is because we all hate LinkedIn. And we need to make memes about entrepreneurship. We need to make fun of all the bullshit that's out there. Because goddamn. And I love what Peter Askew said. I'm gonna pull up his shit again, because I like what his little thing was. It was where is it? What was his little thing? Yeah, this one. We've leveraged automated machine learning to enhance your existing BI visualizations with more proactive insights. Does that help the world? I sell onions on the internet. People should be focusing more on this kind of stuff, right? It's so much better. Have you really listened to your great memes that have been sending you great memes? Shut up, Toast. Toast has been sending me a ton of memes that he believes are godlike, and they are good. They are great memes. I will not doubt. But some of them, I will say, haven't risen to the top of the meme. They are not the cream of the meme crop, right? Just saying, they're not the Vidalia onions of the onion crop. Just saying. But a lot of them are good, and I need to post more. I have a bunch that you have sent me that I need to post. I have a backlog of like 5 that I really love that I need to be posting more aggressively, just for fun, just to make fun of the bullshit that's going on. Anyway, but yeah, standards get higher, competition is huge. You have to start making enough profit to pay for management and or for franchises. Yes, it's true. And a lot of mom and pop, they're Vitalia mean. I love it. But you're totally right, Anxiety Batman. Like it's mom and pop stores and these little businesses. Hey, Krista! Oh my gosh! Hey, we were just talking a little while ago. Krista's really really cool. You should totally follow her. She was talking today about how, or maybe a couple days ago, she made a post about how she's been on a closed beta for a little thing that I really really want. A little LinkedIn feature. It's a newsletter feature, and I was asking her today, literally like an hour or. Yeah, like an hour before I started this stream, I was like, "Hey, you should give me some advice." And she hopped on. I told her she should hop on, and she did. And she's awesome. She's the sassy business coach. Check her out. She's really cool. I can't wait to get that freaking feature, dude. I'm gonna be doing so much goddamn stuff. I'm probably gonna start the Moss newsletter on LinkedIn actually, because that would be really nice. Because it's so much easier to share that way, and it goes straight to your email inbox anyway. I would probably do the Moss Generation. I'm starting a newsletter for my company, Moss Generation, to advertise Pittsburgh startups. They are awesome. They're super great, and so I feel like I would totally like do all of that on the LinkedIn newsletter, or at least a portion of it on the LinkedIn newsletter, right? So, totally, of course, Krista, you're great. You're helping me. I'm helping you. But yeah. So a lot of mom and pops get squashed by a lot of larger businesses. Amazon sucks major ass in that way. They've fucked a lot of people over. They've screwed a lot of little businesses over, and they don't even pay any money in taxes, which is just garbage. It's super unfair to the world. But yeah, so a lot of these larger businesses end up crushing a lot of these smaller ones, which I don't think is great. Because if you're trying to help the economy, it is not about making one big business. It's not about becoming an oligarchy. It's not about making these like these kings of the world businesses. It's about making unhappy with your oligarchy. Oh, you're so sassy. I love it, dude. But like, shit, man. It just sucks. There needs to be more accessibility to that kind of stuff, and I hope there is some bit of legislation that makes it so a lot of these larger groups are limited, because we're not limiting them too much right now. Yeah, I know, but that day one shipping though, that 1 day shipping, it's funny. Ugh. I've ordered like 3 things from Amazon in my entire life, but when I did, it was convenient, I gotta say. But yeah, they could be nicer. Like, the point is, Amazon should exist, but they should be nicer to smaller businesses, right? They should let smaller businesses use them as a tool instead of just like raking in tons and tons and tons of profits. Let's see, what else do I have to update on? A couple little updates. I'm doing this cool little thing. I've just been somebody reminded me just now. I'm doing I got a new freelance gig. There won't be. Instead, trying to make enough money before we get old and trying to buy some biodomes so you can feed your. There you go. Yeah, the environment is fucked too. You're totally right about that. That's good. I like the sass. What was I saying? So I actually got a new little freelance gig recently where I am making finance videos, educational finance videos for kids. And hopefully they're going to be in schools, and we're making like a little, it's like a dictionary of videos to explain finance terms to kids who want to get into investing early, which is good. And it's not like some big fancy, like, oh, like make tons of money on investing. It's just like start like a Roth IRA, so you have a bit more money when you're a little bit older, right? Like healthy financial practices, and explaining that to kids early on, because also financial education sucks ass. Would you look at that? A child Shark Tank. A mini Shark Tank is totally gonna. I'm writing that down. That's great. I like that. That's a YouTube channel. That would be fun, man. That would be really fun. Oh, that's a little mean, especially if you want to make them cry. But that would be really funny. I think like it wouldn't be a child Shark Tank. I think it would be like a miniature Shark Tank, right? With less buy-in, less big fanciness. But you can publicize that, right? And that's more fucking realistic, because Shark Tank is not realistic. Shark Tank is BS, and Shark Tank is actually a huge reason that like a lot of educational BS is a problem. Because it gives them a completely wrong idea about like how startups work, because literally they're going to them and like, my only hope, I have this business, my only hope is if you invest in me, and that is not how business works, right? Like, it makes me so mad. It gives the wrong idea. Well, it's mean in reality, but as a hypothetical joke, it's hilarious. It's a little savage, but I love it. No, Shark Tank is a fucking joke. It's terrible. But I'll bet we could make a show. I'll bet we could make a live show like that on LinkedIn, somewhere else, via the incubator. I'm going to write it down right now. A little bit of a Shark Tank kind of thing. Maybe we call it like Minnow Tank. Minnow Tank. You know what? Go, Daddy. Minnow Tank. Is it Minnow? Minnow. Minnow is a fish, right? Yeah, a little fish. Minnow Tank is it. Damn it! Minnowtank.co. Hey, okay, cool. So Minnowtank. So there's stuff available. I'm probably gonna buy that at some point just for fun. That's really good. I get the. Oh, don't even talk to me, Anxiety Batman. We're not making Baby Shark a theme song ever. First of all, the rights to the song would be like the most expensive thing you've ever fucking seen. But Minnow Tank would be cool, you gotta admit. Because Sharks and Minnows, right? Sharks and Minnows is like that little game you play in the pool where you swim across, and if you get tagged while you're swimming across, now you're a shark too. Sure. But yeah, so it would be Minnow Tank. Small businesses. A small Shark Tank for small businesses. That'd be kind of cool. Minnow Tank. I think it's cute. I, of course, am not at all invested in the name, clearly, and I'm down for other options. Regardless. I just signed the change.org petition to oppose the YouTube changes. What are the YouTube changes, Krista? I actually... Oh, Let me see. Sorry, you can't do YouTube since they're screwing content creators by updating their TNC and posting fines on channels who target children. Things are messed. Yeah, so YouTube's getting really shitty with a lot of stuff. I know a lot of creators that are getting fucked over there. I think it. I don't know. It might be as a result of Google buying them, right? Because Google is another one of these really large corporations that really only care about profit. It seems like they only care about profit in terms of like how they act, right? Because if they like create something that like really helps the world, but it's not making them stupid amounts of cash, they just drop it. What does targeting children mean? I guess it's like it's content made for children. No idea, but interesting. You should link the thing so I can go sign the petition too, because I don't want YouTube to fuck over creators. I think YouTube is a great avenue for people to make awesome lifestyle businesses, but it's not becoming that anymore. I really wish there were like more stuff like YouTube, like more opportunities for people to create things like that, but it's just not. They're screwing over creators right now, and I wonder if it's like I don't want to yell at them and say like it's all your fault, Google, but like maybe there's some internal business reasons that they just can't sustain it. But I have a hunch that it's just because they're big fucking corporates that can do whatever they want because they have all the power in the world. They own like 99% of the search in the U.S. Whatever. Regardless, who knows? Shark Tank is a joke. I think Minnow Tank would be really funny. I think it'd be really cute. Actually, you know what? I'm actually really curious. GoDaddy auctions. This is fun. Domain auctions. Enter keywords. Begin search. Let's see. Minnow Tank. Oh man, Minnow. Minnow.org. This is adorable. Minnowstore.com. This is super cute. Monsters and Minnows. Minnow.com. Where's Minnow? Oh, I guess Minnow.com isn't up for auction. But Minnow.org. That's super cute. Buy now for $3,200. This is so funny. Minnow.biz. This is really funny. What about straws, like we were joking about before? Straws. Straws.co. Make offer. Hey! Time left. Ooh. Straws.org. Oh, offer $250 or more. Fuck you. Fuck you. This is pretty funny, though. This is pretty goddamn funny. This is really funny. This is great. I love this. Yeah, I could probably get straws.co. It's got 2 days left. If anybody wants straws.co, which is a pretty dope domain name if I do say so myself. Minnowtank.com. Ooh, Minnowtank. That's what this is the talk did, right? Minnowtank.com. Yeah, it doesn't work. And then Minnowtank.com on actual GoDaddy seemed to be taken. Minnowtank.com would be great. Minnowtank. Yeah, Minnowtank is taken. Let's check it out. Let's see who owns it. Minnowtank.com. I wonder if they have, like, it's exactly what I'm trying to build. Reload. Yeah, it's just parked for free. So what I could do is I could go into the ICANN and I could go find who owns it, right? So check this out. This is fun. If this is, there's not Doom. GoDaddy.com. I would go, or GoDaddy ICANN. GoDaddy ICANN. Who is? Yeah, it's who is. Sorry, it's not ICANN. Then Minnowtank.com. Yes. Check out Minnowtank. I'm not a robot. This is always really fun. I'm not a robot. And Massachusetts, registered email, boom. So now I found who owns the thing. They live in Massachusetts. It's Amy Cohen at me.com. Boom. Yeah, so I could reach out to them and say, hey, I would love to buy. Actually, I'm going to reach out to them right now. Why don't we do it on stream? Heck with it. I always like emailing people for fun. Let's go to Gmail. This is funny. I'll sell you tadpoletank.com for 18K. Tadpole Tank actually does have a nice ring to it. It has a great ring to it. Is Tadpole Tank available? Tadpole Tank. Not a robot. Guppy Tank. I like it. Somebody. Maybe nobody has it yet. Let me check GoDaddy.com. So maybe it doesn't need to be Minnow Tank. I like Guppy Tank. Yeah, Guppy Tank. Guppy Tank. Dang it. Tadpole Tank. Fuck! Somebody already had the same idea. Shit! That's funny. Guppy Tank. I do like Guppy Tank. That's a good idea. As a result of successful suit against YouTube is not for correcting enforcement laws. It's supposed to prevent marketing for children under the age of 13. Yeah. So I think they're getting really careful about that because if you're a minor, then things get really complicated. So I understand that. But yeah, I don't know. Here, let's go email Amy Conda. Question about minnowtank.com. Hey, Amy. I was recently doing research on domain names for a business venture that I'm creating. For a fun website I'm thinking of creating. I don't want her to think that I have a ton of money. It is a little bit more fun phonetically, so I'll reach out to the Guppy Tank 2 people in a second. I was recently doing some research domain names for a fun website. I'll just copy paste the same email. Here, let me open up another email. Nice. Hey Amy, I was doing research on domain names for a fun website I'm building around a smaller, more realistic version of Shark Tank. I saw you were registered to the domain name minnowtank.com. If you're open to hopping on a call, I would love to hear what you plan to do with the website, with the domain. Smiley face. Best. Max. Cool. So we'll do that, and then let's go find Guppy Tank, because I also like Guppy Tank a lot. Who is Guppy Tank? Guppytank.com. And we'll ping him. We'll heckin' ping him. Come on. You can do it. I know. You know I'm not a robot. You got this. Reload. Impatience. And then after this, I'm going to scoot off because some of my friends are coming over and we're going to goof around. Boom. Found him. Do I know the name? Mr. H. Mr. H. That is so ominous. CJ. So it's CJ. CJH. Ha ha ha. So I'm going to address him as CJ. 2. Bop. Subject. Boop. Question about guppytank.com. Hey, CJ. CJ. This is fun. Guppytank.com. If you're open on a call, we'd love to hear what you do to the domain. Boom. Boom. Easy. Really? Usually only guys think I'm cute. I appreciate it, anxiety. We should hang out more. I appreciate you following me. I hope to see you on more streams. I'll peace out. I'll see you later, dude. Have a great night. It was awesome that you stayed on. I appreciate you being honest with everything. So, without further ado, I believe we are done. We've had some fun. We've learned a lot. And we've dove pretty deep. You could be like Rich Dad Poor Dad, but for Gen Z. Dude, that would be great. That would be awesome. Rich Dad Poor Dad is another one of the ones that kind of like fluff things up a little bit. I haven't read what they wrote, but it seems a little fluffy. But I could be wrong. I can't actually speak on that, so I don't want to shit talk them if I haven't read their stuff. But that would be great, man. That would be awesome. Rich Dad Poor Dad, but for Gen Z. But yeah, I'm done. I think this is my favorite stream so far, if I'm going to be totally honest with you. This is a really, really good time. And yeah, shit's good on my end. I have a little gig making finance videos for this fun little startup in town. So I'm going to learn a bit about finance. That's great. I'm thinking of I'm doing hirepgh.com. So I'm going to help groups, startups in town hire, and that's going to be a basic little website. I'm probably going to build that on one of the next streams, if I'm totally honest. I think that's totally a thing that we could do. Just build it via Webflow. Wouldn't be that hard. I appreciate you hopping on, Krista. It was great to have you here. Absolutely. You have a great Saturday night too. I'll talk to you soon. But yeah, this is a good time. This is a great time. Very happy with everything. Things are going good on my end. This is a really fun stream. I'm really happy with this. This is my favorite one. I feel like we ranted really well. But yeah, cool. Oh, also, this is fun. There's a group called the Ellis School locally, and apparently I'm going to be teaching entrepreneurship there at a girls' middle school. And my girlfriend, she roasted the hell out of me because she's like, "Oh, they're gonna be all over you," and I'm like, "Why?" And she's like, "Cause you're like middle school cool." And I'm like, what does that mean? Excuse you, but I totally understand what that means. Like, I am middle school cool because I'm not like actually cool. I'm just like, I don't give a heck. I'm gonna live my life, kind of cool, right? Like that's the vibe that I give off. You have to be. Oh no, true, absolutely, Hank. I have to be on TikTok, so we'll make that happen. Webflow is gonna be fun. I love Webflow. Oh my gosh, it'll be cool to build something live with Webflow. I like it a lot. I'll probably pre-build most of it beforehand, or at least like get a basis for what it's gonna look like, and then we can just kind of construct stuff, and y'all can help with design choices and tech choices, right? That'd be really cool. But anyway, yeah, I have to be on TikTok before I go to Ellis. My girlfriend was like, "You're middle school cool. I think they'll be all over you." And she was also like, "You're also like middle school hot." And I'm like, "All right, excuse yourself, but like, haha on you also because you're dating me." So ridiculous. But I am middle school cool. It's a whole thing. It's a whole vibe. I'm not even high school cool. I'm middle school cool. What a shame. But yeah, so I'll update you. The Ella school, I'm going to hopefully have pictures from when that happens. It should be happening in like February. But I'll be going into a girls' middle school and just hanging out, teaching entrepreneurship. Hopefully I don't curse out my ass like I usually do on all my live streams. We'll figure it out. But I appreciate all you hopping on. This is my favorite stream so far. Love this. This was awesome. I think we talked about some real shit today. This was great. I'll talk to y'all soon. And there's no stream next Saturday, and I'll update everybody. If you want to sign up here, really quick, entrepreneur.blog. If you're interested, go sign up at entrepreneur.blog.com for my little newsletter. It gives updates on my streams and whether or not I'm doing them. But I've done every single week since I started, except for this one, because I'll be home and I won't have the nice internet that I need to stream. So, but yeah, so no stream next weekend, but after that, we're jumping right back fucking into it. I'll see y'all soon. I appreciate everybody hopping on. Love ya. Have a great Saturday night, everybody. Bye.